The cameras flashed. The crowd froze. And just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession. A rhinestone light went out, but the afterglow, I mean, it is blinding. Welcome to Stroscope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
You really do.
Yeah, and today, our mission for this deep dive is to unpack a massive stack of sources. We've got news reports, we've got charity case studies, celebrity statements.
A lot of statements.
So many. All to make sense of the August 25, 2026 passing of a true icon. We're going to explore the unprecedented global reaction led by pop royalty like Taylor Swift and Beyoncé, and perhaps most importantly, we're going to expose the shocking scale of the hidden systemic empire Dolly left behind.
It really is a watershed moment in the entertainment industry. Like, when you look through the sheer volume of reporting from these past few days, what stands out isn't just the sadness of the loss. It's the revelation of how deliberately she engineered her final days. The sources paint a picture of someone who was completely, unapologetically in control of her own narrative right up to the very last minute.
Which is wild when you think about it. I mean, we're talking about a woman who had already given the world 7 decades of music, movies, and theme parks.
Yeah.
You'd think she would be resting. But you found a detail in her final interview that just blew my mind.
I did, yeah. If we look at her final public interview, which was published by People magazine on August 21st, 2026.
Literally 4 days before she died.
Exactly, 4 days. We see this unbelievable, relentless drive. She was remarkably candid in that piece. She openly admitted she was dealing with severe health issues that she had intentionally, put on the back burner.
Wait, she knew she was declining, but just ignored it?
Yeah, she did.
Why would someone with all the resources in the world delay her own medical care?
Because of her husband, Carl Dean. He passed away in March 2025 at the age of 82.
Oh, wow.
And they had been married for almost 60 years.
That's incredible.
According to the interview, she was so fiercely dedicated to caring for him during his final decline that she completely compartmentalized her own healing.
That is just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But it also feels deeply on brand for her. She always seemed to put the people she loved ahead of herself. But even while grieving, and even while her own health was failing, she was still working.
Not just working, she was actively expanding.
Wow.
In that same People interview, she enthusiastically discussed planning her new Life of Many Colors museum in Nashville.
Okay.
She told the story about finding the absolute perfect location. She walked into this old office building early one morning, and sitting right there in the empty lobby was a copy of her own book.
Songteller.
Yes, Songteller. Just sitting there. She took it as a cosmic sign and secured the building. She even joked about her evolving legacy, saying she used to be the queen of the tabloids and was now the queen of social media AI.
That's amazing.
Her exact quote to the reporter was, "Even though I'm still healing, I'm still working."
Still working.
Yeah.
It just hit you right in the chest. Because the very next thing the world heard was the devastating announcement on August 25th from her nephew, Brian Seaver, that she passed away.
Right.
And when I read the details of what she requested for her funeral, I had to stop and process it.
It's going to be incredibly intimate, immediate family only.
Yeah, very private.
And she's going to be buried right next to Carl Dean at Woodlawn Memorial Park, alongside country legends like George Jones and Tammy Wynette.
It's a very traditional, quiet return to her roots.
But it's the specific request that got me. Her final wish was to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton.
Wow.
After a life wearing heavy restrictive rhinestones and massive wigs, asking for plain cotton. It's like a warrior finally taking off her armor.
That's a great way to put it.
She gave us all the blitz and the spectacle, but in the end, she just wanted the comfort of the farm.
What's fascinating here is how meticulously she controlled that boundary.
Yeah.
She maintained this fierce, almost impenetrable wall between Dolly, the global superstar, and Dolly, the private wife.
Yeah, the two Dollys. Exactly. She gave the public exactly what they craved. The big hair, the self-deprecating jokes, the incredible songwriting.
The whole package.
But she kept her sacred things, like her marriage and her final farewell, completely locked away for herself.
By the way, if you're finding this breakdown of Hollywood's hidden realities fascinating, make sure you hit subscribe. We do these deep dives into the mechanics of pop culture every week. But returning to Dolly, the intimate, quiet goodbye she wanted for herself stands in massive contrast to the absolute explosion that happened out in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's not even the wildest part. I mean, wait until you hear who came out of the woodwork to mourn her. We're talking unprecedented reactions that literally brought the internet to a standstill.
Standstill is the right word. When we synthesize the media reports from the 25th, the tributes poured in from every conceivable corner of the entertainment industry.
It was everywhere.
But they were distinctly spearheaded by two of the most powerful forces in modern music, Taylor Swift and Beyoncé.
Let's start with Taylor, because her tribute was incredibly poignant.
It really was.
She wrote this beautiful, lengthy statement celebrating Dolly's legacy, and she specifically highlighted that Dolly possessed the softest heart when it came to others, but a backbone of steel to defend her own self-worth.
And that duality is crucial to understanding Dolly's influence on the current generation of pop stars.
How so?
Well, Taylor Swift recognized that Dolly walked a very precarious tightrope in a notoriously male-dominated industry.
Right.
Dolly figured out how to protect her image, own her publishing, and demand absolute respect in the boardroom, all while projecting warmth.
Yeah, never losing that smile.
As Swift put it, Dolly laid the groundwork so young girls like her could grow up dreaming of joining the circus, too.
Joining the circus, wow. And then you have Beyonce. She called Dolly the barometer and the North Star.
High praise.
Which is such a massive compliment coming from someone of Beyonce's stature. And of course, it's a powerful nod to their recent collaboration on the reimagined Jolene for Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album.
Right. Beyonce thanked Dolly for being the ultimate blueprint on how to remain uniquely yourself in an industry that constantly tries to change you.
Yeah, they're always trying to rebrand people.
Exactly. But what's truly remarkable in the source material is that the grief didn't stop with pop royalty. It showcased the sheer unexpected breadth of her influence.
Yeah.
We saw Reba McEntire mourning their last conversation. Casey Musgraves saying she was devastated but found solace that Dolly is finally reunited with Carl Dean.
Oh, that's sweet.
And Sabrina Carpenter calling her an angel walking the earth.
Okay, the pop stars and country legends make total sense to me. But the one that absolutely stopped me in my tracks was Eminem.
Oh, yeah, the Eminem tribute.
Eminem, what is the connection there?
It's a surprisingly touching story. Following the news of her passing, Eminem shared a deeply personal letter that Dolly had handwritten to him back in 2022.
Handwritten?
Yeah, handwritten, congratulating him on his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. It proves that her warmth and her respect for artistry reached into spaces you wouldn't automatically associate with a country music icon.
It really does. But here's where my mind really starts struggling to compute the scale of this.
Okay.
In the deeply polarized climate of 2026, Dolly Parton achieved total political unity.
It's true.
Presidents from across the entire political spectrum released statements of profound respect. Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush all paid tribute to her life and legacy. And Donald Trump ordered all flags to be flown at half-staff to honor her.
The sources make it clear leaders from opposing sides of every conceivable aisle agreed on the magnitude of this loss. She managed to be a unifying figure in a fractured world.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because I need to understand the mechanics of this. How does one single woman get Eminem, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and 4 U.S. presidents with completely opposed ideologies to all agree on something?
That's a great question.
Is it just that everyone likes the song 9 to 5? Or is there a deeper mechanism at play here?
Well, it's an excellent question, and it's not just the music.
Right.
While her songwriting is legendary, the answer to her universal reverence might actually be found in a specific line buried in Taylor Swift's tribute.
Wait, I missed that. What line?
Amidst all the talk of music, Swift explicitly gave thanks for the millions of books she provided children all over the world.
Books. Why is Taylor Swift talking about books in a tribute to a music icon?
Because that points us directly toward the true, staggering legacy Dolly leaves behind.
Oh.
The headline here is that Dolly Parton wasn't just a singer. She was an entrepreneurial mastermind and a highly effective, systemic philanthropist.
This is the secret empire we mentioned at the start.
Precisely. Most people know she opened the Dollywood theme park in 1986 to celebrate Appalachian culture and bring jobs to her impoverished home region.
Right.
But her absolute masterpiece, the machine that quietly changed the world, was the Imagination Library, which she launched in 1995.
1995. So she was doing this for decades.
Decades. And it's incredibly relevant right now. Just a month before Dolly's passing, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce actually donated part of their $26 million wedding fund directly to the Imagination Library.
Okay, a donation that massive means this isn't just a vanity project.
Not at all.
But how does it actually work? We looked at a detailed case study from the Arkansas Imagination Library, and the stats were, frankly, hard to believe.
The scale is immense. This program mails free, high-quality, age-appropriate books directly to the homes of over 1.7 million children every single month.
1.7 million?
Every month. And this targets kids from birth to age 5 operating across multiple countries.
1.7 million kids a month. That is a logistical mountain. But why target kids that young? I mean, a 1-year-old can't read.
To understand the genius of this, we have to look at the neuroscience and the poverty gap data outlined in the Arkansas case study.
Okay, lay it on me.
Rigorous research shows that 85% of a child's core brain development occurs before the age of 3.
85%.
Yes. That early neural wiring dictates their future ability to read, to learn, and to think critically. If you miss that window, it is incredibly difficult to catch up.
Okay, that makes sense from a biological standpoint.
But here is the tragic reality that Dolly recognized. 61% of lower-income families have absolutely zero children's books in their homes.
Wait, zero? None at all?
None.
Wow.
The case study breaks it down into a stark ratio. In poor neighborhoods, there is roughly 1 children's book for every 300 kids.
1 book for 300 kids?
Yes. Compare that to affluent areas where there are roughly 13 books per child.
That is a staggering difference.
That massive gap is where developmental delays begin. It's the root cause of educational inequality. And historically, it's notoriously difficult for government programs to fix.
Why is it so hard for the government to fix? You'd think they could just hand out books at schools.
Because of the friction of bureaucracy. Government aid usually requires parents to prove their poverty.
Oh, right, all the paperwork.
Exactly. You have to fill out complex forms, provide income verification, and jump through administrative hoops. For a family working multiple minimum wage jobs just to survive, that paperwork is a massive barrier.
Yeah, they don't have the time or energy.
Not to mention the social stigma attached to applying for handouts.
Ah, so the red tape essentially locks out the people who need it the most.
Exactly. And that is where Dolly's genius solution comes in. Her system completely bypassed the bureaucracy. There are absolutely no income requirements for the Imagination Library.
Wait, no income requirements?
None.
Doesn't that mean wealthy families can sign up and get free books too? Why would a charity allow that?
Because universality removes the stigma. If everyone gets it, it's not a poor kids program. It's just a gift for being a kid.
Oh, wow. That's so smart.
It completely removes the paperwork friction that discourages vulnerable families. The books simply arrive in the mailbox personally addressed to the child.
I love that.
And the data proves this strategy works. In Arkansas alone, by removing the red tape and aggressively partnering with local organizations, they increased enrollment among families living in poverty by 33% in less than 2 years.
That is a staggering jump in enrollment.
Yeah.
But how did they actually reach those families if they weren't using government databases?
Well, the University of Central Arkansas tracked their methodology. They found that originally, as poverty levels in a county increased, Imagination Library enrollment naturally decreased.
Isolated families didn't know about it.
Exactly. So Dolly's team got strategic. They started partnering directly with state institutions like hospitals.
Hospitals?
Yeah. They set up systems to sign babies up right in the delivery room before the parents even took the child home.
Now that is brilliant. You catch them at birth. But this raises a huge logistical question for me. I think a lot of people can be cynical about celebrity charities. It's easy to assume they are just tax write-offs or vanity projects that operate terribly behind the scenes. Mailing 1.7 million physical books a month has to be insanely expensive. How on earth is this funded?
It is a highly efficient systemic machine. It operates through local affiliates in individual communities, like a local Rotary Club or a United Way branch.
Okay.
But here is the kicker. Those local affiliates only have to pay $25.20 per child per year.
Wait.
That's about $2.10 a month to get a high-quality book delivered to a kid's door.
$2.10 a month. You can't even buy the postage for that, let alone a hardcover book.
Exactly. And the reason it's so cheap for the local communities is because Dolly's Central Foundation covers all of the massive overhead.
So it's essentially like she built a massive centralized tech platform like an Amazon fulfillment center, but entirely for childhood literacy.
Yes.
The corporate back end handles the heavy lifting, so the local branches can just focus on signing kids up.
That is a perfect analogy. The Dollywood Foundation manages the massive global database. They coordinate the Blue Ribbon Book Selection Committee to ensure the books are age-appropriate and diverse.
Right.
They negotiate the wholesale book rates with publishers, and they handle the bulk postage rates. The case study notes that if a local community tried to mail a high-quality book to a child once a month on their own without Dolly's infrastructure, it would cost them over $220 a year per child.
Wow. 220 versus 25.
Dolly's central supply chain saves these local charities 90% in costs. She didn't just throw money at a problem, she built an incredibly scalable, sustainable supply chain to permanently lower the barrier to entry for childhood literacy.
Okay, so the logistics are incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm still stuck on the practical application inside the home.
Okay.
If we go back to the idea of a 1-year-old receiving a book in the mail, they can't read it. They probably just want to chew on the cardboard.
Sure.
How does a physical book arriving actually change the developmental trajectory if the kid can't read?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it triggers what sociologists and educators call a two-generation approach.
A two-generation approach.
Yeah. Think about the psychology of receiving mail. When a package arrives with a toddler's name on it, they get incredibly excited. It carries an event.
Right.
They grab the book and immediately bring it to the parent.
Oh, so the child's excitement essentially forces the parent to engage.
Precisely. The parent is now socially and emotionally compelled to sit down and read with their child. The books even include reading tips and engagement prompts printed on the inside, flaps specifically for the parents.
I see.
It establishes a daily reading routine in households that are often facing severe economic and emotional stress.
So it's subtly teaching the parents how to be early childhood educators.
Exactly. And inadvertently, this ends up fighting adult illiteracy as well.
Wait, really?
Yeah, various communities have reported an increase in adult literacy program enrollment simply because the Imagination Library awakened a need in the parents who wanted to be able to read to their kids.
That's incredible.
It boosts long-term workforce development by turning the parent into the child's first teacher. It is an incredibly sophisticated socioeconomic intervention, brilliantly disguised as a simple monthly gift.
It's just brilliant. It really reframes how I view her entire career. And if you are enjoying these kinds of revelations, stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next week, because uncovering the hidden mechanisms of Hollywood is exactly what we do here.
It really requires us to step back and look at the full tapestry of her 80 years on Earth.
Yeah.
We are talking about a songwriter who penned thousands of tracks, a theme park magnate, an actress, a business mogul, and a rare public figure who could effortlessly unite political rivals and pop stars alike.
She really was all of those things. But after reading through all these sources for our deep dive today, I think her nephew, Brian Seaver, captured her essence better than any news headline or celebrity tribute could.
What is he?
When he announced her passing to the world, he said, "Dolly was a farmer just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness."
That is a profoundly accurate way to describe her life's work.
Yeah.
She planted seeds. She knew she wouldn't see all of them grow, but she planted them anyway. And this raises an important question, especially when we look at the hard data from the early learning research in our sources.
What's that?
Studies show that cumulatively, over the 5 years before kindergarten, children who grow up in literacy-rich homes hear 1.4 million more words during storybook reading than children who are never read to.
1.4 million words. That is a massive developmental head start.
It is the difference between a child thriving and a child falling behind before they even step into a classroom. So I want to leave you with this thought to mull over.
Okay.
Dolly Parton will always be remembered for her voice, her towering blonde hair, her rhinestones, and her undeniable star power. But what if her greatest, most enduring legacy to the world isn't a single song she ever sang, but rather the millions of words she quietly placed into the minds of children who will shape our future?
That is a beautiful thought, and it completely changes how we'll listen to her music from now on. You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.